Years ago, the Dove Self-Esteem Project put out a video called Evolution. It's a remarkable video. It shows a pretty but really fairly ordinary looking young woman, a model, sitting down in front of a camera. And then they bring in makeup artists and hairstylists to come and doll her up and take all sorts of pictures of her. But then after they take the pictures, it shows them using Photoshop to change literally every one of her features, her eyes, her nose, her hair, her shoulders, her neck, changing all of her features in order to make her look perfect. And at the end, you see that the person on the billboard is really not the same person that sat down in front of the camera. I mean, the world's definition of beautiful is literally a lie. So what is beauty? That's what we're talking about in today's Dining Room Devo. 1 Peter 3, verses 3 and 4 is what we're looking at. Your beauty should not come from outward adornment, such as elaborate hairstyles and the wearing of gold jewelry or fine clothes. Rather, it should be that of your inner self, the unfading beauty of a gentle and quiet spirit, which is of great worth in God's sight. When we read these verses, at first glance, you might think that Peter is anti-makeup, or that it's wrong for a woman to want to look beautiful. But Peter's not saying it's sinful for women to wear jewelry or wear makeup, and there's nothing wrong with wanting to look presentable in society. As Jesus said in the Sermon on the Mount, when he was teaching about fasting, he said that when you fast, you should put oil on your face and brush your hair. Putting oil on your face back then in a dry, arid climate was a way of moisturizing your skin so you looked better. It's okay to want to look nice. As Warren Wiersbe said about these verses, we are not of this world, but we must not make ourselves look as though we came from out of this world. In other words, it's okay to dress in a way that you fit in. It's fine to have nice clothing and to look your best, but Peter's saying don't obsess over your appearance. And don't make the mistake of believing that your worth is somehow defined by how you look. He's saying that inner beauty is far more important than outward beauty. Your beauty doesn't come from Mary Kay or Tiffany. Have you ever met someone that at first glance seemed really attractive, but the more you got to know them, you started to see them really as not attractive at all? If you define your real beauty as what you see on the outside, you're sorely mistaken. The inner beauty of a godly character should be our goal. And this, by the way, applies to women and to men. I mean, guys, we don't wear a lot of jewelry or makeup, but we can show our vanity in a lot of other ways. There's this TV show I love called Parks and Recreation, and in that show there's a character named Tom Haverford that's always wearing what he calls dope suits and pocket squares. He makes himself look fancy, and he does that really just to cover up his own insecurity. But pretentiousness is not for the Christian. In verse 4, Peter says that your beauty should be that of your inner self. Those words in the Greek literally say the hidden person of the heart. The hidden person of the heart, the character that isn't always immediately seen by others. Character doesn't fade like outward beauty, but instead is strengthened over time. He says that you should have a gentle and quiet spirit. That word gentle we've looked at before. It's that Greek word praus. It's used two other times in Scripture, both times spoken by Jesus and translated as meek. Remember we talked about meek in a few videos ago. The word meek does not mean weak. It's a military word for a horse that was steady in battle and showed strength under control. You see, a gentle person is not prone to seek revenge or to put others down in order to look good. When Peter says that we should have a quiet spirit, by quiet he means not making yourself the center of attention, being humble. Where some people try to draw attention to themselves by their dress and their jewelry in order to elevate their self-worth, we don't need to do that. We are content in our relationship to God, and we seek to be humble. We want other people to see not our jewelry, but rather our joy. I've been to Lima, Peru twice on mission trips and have done ministry in a local church there. And I remember one time I went there and met a lady named Maria. And Maria was a very short woman. She'd had a very rough life, and because of that, she had more wrinkles than a woman her age should have. She was poor. She couldn't afford high fashion. She had very little, but what she had was Jesus. and she served Jesus faithfully. She had a joy that just radiated from within her. It was an infectious kind of joy. I haven't seen Maria in over 15 years, but if I close my eyes, I can still see her face clear as a bell. Maria's genuine faith, born out of trials, Maria's love for her church, and the joy that was on her face. And I can tell you Maria was one of the most beautiful people I have ever met. Money can't buy that kind of beauty, but it's worth more than diamonds. Next time on Dining Room Devos, we will look at Peter's description of faithful Old Testament women as an example to those women that he's writing to. Feel free to like or comment on this video, subscribe if you haven't, visit us at newparisfirst.com. Have a blessed day. We'll see you next time.